Let's begin with a truth so shocking it feels like a physical blow. Your brain, right now, is actively seeking a way to shut down, and it has chosen the image of a long wooden pier stretching into calm seawater as its perfect escape hatch. This isn't poetic coincidence. This is a neurological mandate. In a world where the average person processes more information in a single day than a person in the 15th century did in an entire lifetime, your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, is in a state of perpetual burnout. It's drowning in decision fatigue, social calculations, and digital noise. And so it does something extraordinary. It latches onto archetypal images that represent the exact opposite of that chaos. The long, singular line of a pier offers a literal and metaphorical path away from the overwhelming crossroads of daily life. The calm, flat, monochromatic seawater represents a sensory deprivation tank for the eyes, a visual silence. The wood, an organic, warm material, counters the cold, glass and plastic reality of our screens. This is not mere preference. This is your mind's immune response to cognitive pollution. Think of the last time you saw such an image. Didn't you feel a visceral, almost gravitational pull, a sigh from a place deeper than your lungs? That was your limbic system, the seat of emotion, recognizing a template for survival. It's signaling that continued exposure to fragmented attention is not sustainable. And this specific composite of elements, horizontal line, natural material, vast blue, is the antidote it has been evolutionarily programmed to seek. Ancient humans sought the clearing in the forest, the vista from the mountain, the refuge of a cave by a still lake. Our modern clearing, our vista, our refuge is this pier. It is a cognitive necessity, not an aesthetic luxury. The data points to this relentlessly. Studies in environmental psychology, like those from the University of Plymouth, show that exposure to images of blue spaces, bodies of water, reduces physiological stress markers, like cortisol and heart rate, more effectively than green spaces. Furthermore, the principle of prospect and refuge in biophilic design explains our attraction to places that offer an unobstructed view. The prospect over the water, while feeling protected, the refuge of the solid structure behind us. The pier is the perfect synthesis of both. You stand on it, protected by the land at your back, gazing into an infinite, benign possibility. Your brain, in that imagined moment, stops multitasking. It has one job: to follow the line. This is the neurological hook. The overwhelming clutter of choices, what tab to open, what notification to answer, what task to prioritize, collapses into a single, gentle imperative: walk forward. There is no algorithm here, only horizon. And in that simplicity, a profound rebooting can begin. But this is just the surface ripple. To understand the true depth of this pull, we must go beyond the brain and into the very physics of the experience, into what happens when you actually step onto those creaking weathered planks. That journey from a desperate neural cry for help to a transformative practice starts with a single step I want you to take right now. If this idea of finding a cognitive refuge resonates with you, if you feel that ache for simplicity, do this for me. Type the word Pier in the comments below. This simple act is your first step onto this wooden path. It signals to me, to the algorithm, and most importantly to your own mind, that you are choosing to explore this calm. It creates a community of fellow travelers. So, type Pier. I'll wait. And for those who have, welcome. Let's walk further together. Now imagine the physics of that step. Your foot meets not the unyielding concrete of a sidewalk or the unstable softness of sand, but the resonant, slightly sprung surface of aged wood. This is our second layer, the pier as a kinetic sensory instrument. Each footfall is a micro-event. The wood, expanded by salt spray and contracted by sun, groans and whispers. It provides tactile feedback that is alive and responsive, unlike the dead, flat feedback of manufactured floors. This sound, this faint vibration, is a key to a state called embodied cognition. Your mind isn't just in your skull, it's in your body's interaction with the environment. The rhythmic thud creak of your walk becomes a metronome for your thoughts, slowing the internal chatter to match its pace. You are literally walking your nervous system down from a state of sympathetic arousal, fight or flight, to parasympathetic dominance, rest and digest. But let's dive into the original data point of the pier's structure itself. Why wood? And why does it stretch so deliberately into the water? The material science is revealing. Wood, particularly timber like Douglas fir or tropical hardwoods often used in pilings, has a specific acoustic impedance and thermal conductivity that makes it feel warm and alive. Compare it to a metal or concrete jetty. Metal would feel harsh, conductive of temperature in an uncomfortable way, and its sound would be sharp and ringing signals of danger or industry to our primal brains. Concrete is inert and monolithic. Speaking of urban sprawl, wood is organic memory. It was once a tree cycling water and nutrients. Now, it cycles the energy of your step and the lap of the waves. Its journey into the water is a masterclass in engineering psychology. A pier isn't a bridge meant to get you from one landmass to another. It is a destination in itself. Its purpose is to take you from the complex, biodiverse, and grounded ecology of the land across the unstable, transitional zone of the shore and out into a realm of pure, elemental simplicity, water and sky. You are walking from the world of 10,000 things into the world of one or two things. This progression is a physical ritual of simplification. Every meter away from shore is a meter away from your terrestrial burdens. The data for this exists in maritime engineering and perceptual psychology. The very act of looking at a horizon line over water from a stable platform has been shown to improve mood and focus. The horizon is the only absolutely straight line in nature, and our visual cortex locks onto it with a sense of relief, organizing the chaotic visual field into a clean dual partition of sea and sky. This reduces cognitive load dramatically. Furthermore, the pier's design creates a phenomenon called forced perspective. As you look down its length, the converging lines of the railings and the planks draw your eye inexorably forward to the vanishing point, which is often punctuated by a small lighthouse, a bench, or simply the open circle of the ocean. This visual pull is hypnotic and meditative. It initiates a flow state. You are not deciding to focus. The architecture of the scene is forcing your focus, giving your decision-weary brain a holiday. The calm seawater below is not passive. Its gentle, predictable lateral motion, the swells, not waves, creates a soft, rhythmic visual pattern. This is a form of bilateral stimulation, similar to the techniques used in EMDR therapy to process stress and trauma. The left-right sway of the water, seen from the stable pier, can gently facilitate the brain's natural processing mechanisms. So you are not just looking at a picture. You are engaging in a multisensory, neurologically orchestrated recalibration. But to lock in this calibration, we must go deeper than a walk. We must understand what happens when you stop at the very end, where the wood runs out and only infinite blue remains. That is the moment of true transformation, and it requires one more thing from you before we go there. This journey is built on intention. To move from watching to experiencing, I need you to actively participate. Pause this video for just 60 seconds. Close your eyes and in your mind, construct that pier. Feel the plank under your feet, hear the creak, see the line leading out. Breathe in time with an imagined gentle wave. Do it. This is your personal, internal blueprint. Then come back and type blueprint in the comments. This seals your intention. Let's see how many of us are building this calm together. Now let's go to the end of the pier. You've arrived. The land is a distant memory, a smudge of complexity behind you. Before you is nothing but the calm, endless sea meeting the vast, open sky. You are standing on the last few planks of wood, a tiny platform of human construction jetting into the primordial. This is the third and most critical phase, the existential interface. At this precise point, you are at the maximum tension between the made and the born, between order and chaos, between self and infinity. And it is in this tension that a profound psychological alchemy occurs. Let's unpack the original date of this experience. First, the concept of edge effect in ecology. In nature, the most biodiverse and dynamic places are often the edges where two ecosystems meet: forest and meadow, river and land. The end of the pier is the ultimate human experiential edge effect. It is where the terrestrial world of human control, the built structure, interfaces with the aquatic world of sublime surrender, the sea. Your brain is electrified by this boundary. It is simultaneously safe because of the solid platform and thrillingly exposed to the immense unknown. This triggers a release of neurotransmitters in a unique cocktail: dopamine from the novelty and awe, serotonin from the rhythmic stability of the water, and a decrease in cortisol because the threat is perceived as vast and beautiful, not immediate and personal. This state is the opposite of the claustrophobic anxiety induced by social media feeds and crowded urban spaces. Here, the anxiety is spacious, it's awe, and it is deeply clarifying. Now consider the philosophical and perceptual shift. When you look back, you see the path you came from, a singular line connecting you to your origin. This often provides a powerful sense of narrative and perspective on your life's journey. But when you look forward, something more extraordinary happens. Your visual field is dominated by what environmental psychologists call soft fascination. The gentle movement of the water, the play of light, the slow drift of clouds, these hold your attention in a gentle, effortless grasp. Unlike the hard fascination of a thrilling action movie or a video game, which demands cognitive resources, soft fascination allows your directed attention, the kind you use for work and problem solving, to fully rest and replenish. This is the attention restoration theory, ART, in action, pioneered by researchers like Stephen Kaplan. The end of the pier is a perfect restorative environment. It is being away, psychologically distant from your usual environment, has extent, feels like a whole other world to explore, is fascinating in this soft way, and is compatible with your desire to simply be. In this state, a cognitive process called the default mode network activates. This is the brain's idle mode, responsible for daydreaming, introspection, self-referential thought, and creative synthesis. It's when we're not focused on a specific external task that our brain makes its most profound internal connection. The modern world, with its constant demands for focused attention, brutally suppresses this network. The end of the pier, however, is its sacred temple. Here, insights arise unbidden. Problems you've been grinding on suddenly seem to solve themselves. Creative ideas surface like bubbles from the deep. This is not magic. It is the neuroscience of allowing your brain to do. It's deep integrative work when finally given the correct environment. You are not escaping reality at the end of the pier. You are connecting to a deeper, slower, more fundamental reality that exists beneath the frantic pace of human invention. You are remembering that you are a sensory being in a physical, rhythmic, vast world. The constant, low-grade panic of the digital age, the fear of missing out, the pressure to perform dissolves in the face of a horizon that has existed for billions of years and will continue long after our concerns are forgotten. This perspective is the ultimate therapy. But how do we bottle this? How do we bring this end of the pier clarity into our daily, landlocked lives? The secret isn't in physically being there. It's in constructing a neurological access point. And to build that, I need you to take one more active step. This is where we move from theory to practice. I want you to think of one small, nagging problem or decision in your life. Just one. Hold it lightly in your mind. Now, in the comments, I want you to type this phrase, "from the end I see," and then complete it with whatever comes to mind, even if it seems silly. For example, "from the end, I see that it doesn't matter as much as I thought," or From the end, I see a simple first step. This exercise mimics the perspective shift. By doing it, you are creating a cognitive shortcut to that state. Share it. Let's build a wave of perspective. Then let's learn how to build your own pier anywhere. So how do we construct this pier in the geography of our daily mind? We move from the external archetype to the internal architecture. This is the fourth part, building your cognitive pier. You don't need an ocean. You need the blueprint we activated earlier, and the understanding that a pier is a process, not a place. It is a deliberate sequence of sensory and mental actions that guide you from clutter to clarity. Let's design it with original, actionable data. First, the pylon of foundation ritual. Every pier needs sturdy pilings driven deep into the seabed. Your pilings are daily, non-negotiable rituals that ground you in the physical world, away from the digital abstract. This is data-backed. Studies on neuroplasticity show that consistent ritual creates predictable neural pathways, reducing anxiety. Your first piling is a morning sensory anchor. Before you check your phone, spend 60 seconds engaging one sense deeply. Hold a warm mug and feel only its heat. Listen to a single, continuous sound like a fan or bird song. Look at a single, simple object, a plant, a wooden surface, and trace its lines. This pulls your brain out of the abstract and into the present, the wood of your reality. The second piling is a midday horizon glance. Just as the pier offers a long, unobstructed sightline, you must create one in your day. Set an alarm for once in your afternoon. When it goes off, physically get up and go to a window. Find the farthest point you can see, a rooftop, a tree, a distant hill. Gaze at that for 1 full minute. Don't think, just follow the act of looking into the distance. This forces your eyes to relax from near focus and triggers the horizon calming response in your brain. Now, the planking, the walk itself. This is your dedicated transition time. In a physical pier, you walk from land to sea. In your day, you need a deliberate planking to transition between major states. The most critical plank is the work-to-home transition. Do not jump from computer screen to family chaos or to scrolling. Build a 10-minute plank. It could be a walk around the block, a silent cup of tea on a specific chair, or even just sitting in your parked car listening to one piece of music. The rule is no consumption, no communication. This is the thud creak of your day, the rhythmic separation of realms. It tells your brain that mode is over, this mode is beginning. Without it, all modes bleed into a stressful soup. Next, we must address the water, the element of soft fascination and fluidity. You need to introduce a daily dose of effortless, rhythmic, flowing observation. This is your blue space simulation. If you can't get to real water, use technology with intention, not distraction. Full screen, high definition videos of calm seawater from a pier's perspective, or even a simple aquarium stream are valid tools here. The key is passive, full-screen viewing for 5 to 10 minutes. Don't multitask. Let it be the visual background of your break, practicing that soft fascination. The data from studies using VR nature experiences confirms that even simulated environment can produce significant stress reduction effects if engaged with mindfully. Finally, we reach the end of the pier, the daily session of deliberate non-doing. This is your awe appointment. Once a day, for just 5 minutes, you must stand at your cognitive pier's end, find a quiet space, close your eyes. In your mind's eye, walk your pier, feel it, hear it, reach the end. Then, ask yourself 2 questions, not to be answered analytically, but to be felt. 1. What is the vastest thing I can think of? The universe, geological time, the ocean. 2. What is the smallest, most specific detail I am grateful for right now? The weave of my sweater, the taste in my mouth, the quiet. Hold both simultaneously. This practice, rooted in contemplative neuroscience, builds cognitive flexibility, the ability to hold both the infinite and the intimate. It shrinks petty concerns by placing them next to cosmic scale, while also rooting you in a tangible, positive detail. This is your built pier. It requires no travel, only intention. But to make it permanent, we must understand the final, most powerful element, the community of fellow travelers, the shared horizon. And that leads me to our final, most important call to action. This isn't just about you building your own pier in silence. The final piling is shared witness. I want you to make this real. In the comments right now, share one line from your personal pier blueprint. What is one ritual, a piling, one transition, a plank, or one source of soft fascination, water, you will commit to tomorrow? For example, my piling, coffee without my phone. My plank, 5 minutes of silence in the car. My water, a fish tank live stream at 3 p.m. By typing it, you declare it. You also give others permission and ideas. You are building a community pier, plank by plank, where we can all walk out and find perspective together. This shared accountability is the final, crucial reinforcement. So please share your one line. Then let's conclude by understanding why this isn't an escape, but the most real return possible. We have walked the length of this idea together, from the shocking neurological hook to the practical, buildable cognitive structure. We've seen that the longing for that long wooden pier, stretching into calm seawater, is a profound biological signal, a cry for a specific kind of mental environment that our modern world has all but eradicated. It is not nostalgia. It is a prescription. To dismiss this pull as mere daydreaming is to ignore a fundamental need for the spacious, rhythmic, and perspectival. Our journey through the neuroscience, the environmental physics, the existential interface, and the actionable architecture of building your own internal pier reveals a central, unifying truth. Calm is not the absence of stimulus. It is the presence of a specific, ordered, and benevolent stimulus that allows your brain to function as it was evolved to. The chaos of the digital age is not just annoying. It is morphologically incompatible with a system designed for pattern recognition in nature, for focus on single tasks, for periods of deep, default mode integration. The pier, in its elegant simplicity, is a rebuke to that chaos and a template for a solution. It offers a path singular and direct. It provides a stable foundation in a fluid world. It forces a horizon perspective. It facilitates the shift from hard to soft fascination. It creates the edge where self meets sublime. This is the original data. Our well-being is tied to environments that contain these features. When we lack them physically, we must engineer them cognitively. The morning sensory anchor, the midday horizon glance, the work-to-home transition plan, the blue space simulation, and the awe appointment. These are not just life hacks. They are pilings driven into the unstable seabed of modern life, upon which you can construct a walkway back to your own clarity. Each time you perform one, you are not just taking a break. You are reinforcing the neural pathways that value depth over breadth, presence over panic, and perspective over pressure. You are telling your brain that the pier is a real place you can visit, and that visit is a priority. This is the ultimate call to action. And it's not a one-time event. It is an invitation to a different way of living. Your viewership of this video, your engagement in the comments with Pier blueprint from the end, I see, and your one-line commitment has already started the construction. You have joined a community of people who have decided that their mental environment is as important as their physical one, who have chosen to build piers in the shared digital sea of content. So here is your final and most important directive. This is the keeper of the calm, the ultimate call to action to seal everything we've done. First, right now, before you do anything else, hit the like button on this video. This is your first piling. It's a simple, physical action that signals this matters. This is a path I am choosing. It helps this message, this blueprint for calm, reach more people who are desperately seeking that same wooden path in their mind. Second, subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you are not just adding another notification to your life. You are building a lighthouse on your cognitive shore. You are ensuring that amid the storm of chaotic content, a signal for perspective, for depth, for calm like this can find you again. You are choosing to have your feed include reminders to walk your pier. Finally, and most crucially, share this video, but don't just share it vaguely. Share it with one person, a friend, a family member, a colleague who you know is drowning in the crossroads, who you can see has lost their horizon. Send it to him with a single personal message. This made me think of you, and it helped me. Let's build our piers. This act of sharing the blueprint is the final plank. It transforms knowledge into connection and personal practice into a shared refuge. It makes the pier real in the relational space between people. The long wooden pier is no longer just an image. It is a neurological imperative, a psychological tool, a daily practice, and now a community. You have the map. You have the method. The calm seawater is not out there, it is in here, waiting for the structure you build to reach it. So, build it. One piling, one plank, one horizon glance at a time. I am here, walking my own, and I'll see you at the end.